The boat behind me is a McCONAGHY 82P power catamaran. If you don't know McCONAGHY, they are very well known for building really high-end sailing yachts, composite materials for racing teams. They're pretty high-tech construction, and they've built this power cat. And VICSAIL, who are managing the sale of it, have invited me down today so I can take you on a full tour. So let's jump on board now and take a look. We're going to jump on now. Normally this hydraulic swim deck wouldn't be full of shoes and bags, but obviously we're at a boat show, and of course this is what we have. But this is where your tender would be. It is a really big beam on this boat, about 30 feet, and so you can get a really big tender on here, and it's definitely got the grunt to hydraulically lower and raise that into the water. So just to set the scene, we'll move up these vast stairs, and there are quite a few people on board, so I'm going to discreetly duck and weave my way around the boat so we don't run into too many folks. And we'll start by moving forward on these beautiful big wide sidewalks. I love big power cats because the sense of luxury in space is awesome. So we've come all the way forward until we reach this space here. So a couple of things that you would have already noticed: direct access from the main deck straight out onto this area. Terrific place to relax, lounge, enjoy the boat. I'm going to hop down to get a better view for you. Underneath the brow of this hardtop as well, so there's a bit of shade for you there, but that's a lovely spot to be. Storage wells, as you can see, dotted across the deck, and that netting. Heaps of fun to jump out there and have a good time. Probably seeing some dolphins swim underneath the boat. How cool. Beautiful. We're going to go to every part of the boat. We're going to head up to that Flybridge where you can see some folks up there now. But I'll step you down the starboard side of these big decks. It's a late afternoon at the boat show, and it's a very nice time to be on a big boat like this. Here, because we've come aft, I'll give you a nice view of the aft cockpit. In fact, I'll just stay here. It gives you a nice elevated view. As you can see, there's a lot of guest accommodation, so you do need a lot of entertaining space out here, and we've got that. There's seating for about 8 people facing forward, and this can move either way, and that gives you the flexibility of looking out over the stern of the boat or facing forward. But that's lovely, isn't it? Great to see this sort of thing. That's one of McCONAGHY's other boats that they build. Really high-tech stuff. We've got other areas here for lounging and places to sit. And then on the other side of the cockpit, we've got an entertaining area here. This is a sink area. Underneath here, we've got big cooling drawers on both sides, an ice maker, and a great place to put all of your platters and food prep. And what a place this would be to entertain. Wouldn't it be something special? Beautiful. We'll come into the main deck salon while there's not too many people, and we'll show you what's here. With the beam of a boat like this, you can imagine that there's so much space to be used, and sometimes these big power cats can feel a little bit like unarranged, but this is really nice. The galley's a really long walk-through galley that runs about half the length of the entire salon, and that's really nice because one, it creates a really nice social space, and two, it creates a lot of bench top area. Everything that you'd expect. Huge amounts of refrigerating. We've got one set there, and there's another set in behind here. Huge amounts of bench top space. Places for you to put appliances along the back here as well. You might want to have coffee machines, food processors, all of those things. If you don't want them up there, they can be tucked away in all of the storage that's dotted around the galley. It really is fantastic. And then directly opposite the galley, we've got the dining area of the boat. Lovely for 10 people. You could probably even squeeze one or two more on there if you wanted, but all of your guests will be accommodated perfectly at dinner. So how good. These cabinets here, again, a little more cooling. This is more a bar area. As you can see, we've got all of your coffee making needs and a bit of Milo as well tucked in here, and an espresso machine up there. So with all of the space available, you can kind of use this in a variety of ways. This could be like a mini bar, like a cocktail bar area if you wanted to spec it that way. But I'm a coffee lover, and so seeing it decked out for coffee ticks a box for me. We've got another lounging area. It's kind of like a two-tier lounging area. We've got this area up the top here, and then we've got this area down here. And the first thing I thought about when I saw that is, you know, we've got pets at home. I can imagine those pets would be jumping up there and taking ownership of that area. But a fantastic space, and it's directly across from where you'd be watching television. Of course, this is a big model of one of McConaghy's boats. That's their GT86. This is what I mean about the type of product that McConaghy build. They're pretty cool stuff. So your big television actuates up here from this unit like that, and so there's the main salon. Huge, but well thought out. I quite like that. I like the neutral tones. I think it works really well. Spin around. There's that door that we saw earlier to give you easy access out to this lounging dining spot that we saw earlier. Really nice, and the breeze coming through here is lovely also. Terrific. So we'll give the accommodation a miss for now, and we'll walk back up, and we'll grab these stairs and we'll go up to the Flybridge. There weren't too many people up there, and this is as impressive as the main deck salon. I'll come back to show you this. Fantastic summer kitchen. You could spec this with a variety of refrigeration, grills, all sorts of things, but this one has been spec'd with those cooler drawers like that. Fantastic place to create and serve a feast of whatever you like, really, and that of course services your guests to be very comfortable over there at that dining section. All fully shaded, all very lovely. There's an interesting layout arrangement here. This is a fully enclosed bridge, as you can tell, with a couple of settees on either side, and it looks like this. We've got the engine controls, thrusters, multi-function displays, chart plotters flickering away. That's a very cool wheel, isn't it? That looks very smart. That's carbon fibre. That looks very smart. Good stuff. But what's interesting for me as I back out of here is that there's a Portuguese helm. So you come out of here and you drop down one step and you find this area. Now, I haven't seen this on a power catamaran that I can think of. I quite like that. Nice place to come and sit, nice place to come and stand and take in the view. You tell me what you think about that in the comments. I quite like that. Excellent. So we'll come back. I reckon you could spec this with a few other things. There's space here for a jacuzzi hot tub for sure. I reckon you'd be able to include one of those here without too much difficulty. You've also got the grill over there. You could probably move that onto that unit over there if you want to open this up even more. I reckon you could do that. But so much real estate to work with up on this Flybridge. There's a lot of choices that owners could make. Terrific. All right, we'll come back down from the Flybridge and we'll make our way down into the lower decks to take a look at all of the guest accommodation, and there is quite a bit to show you, as well as two crew cabins, and those two crew cabins are aft, port and starboard side. We'll get to those later. But what we want to show you is the guest accommodation. Okay. So we'll start on the starboard side and we'll come down and we'll show you one of the bigger cabins first. Big queen-sized berth. Of course, we're sitting pretty low in one of the hulls, and so the headroom here is epic. I can't even touch or barely touch the ceiling above me. Fantastic big window section, so the view out of bed is pretty good, pretty uninterrupted in fact. Cupboards in behind here like this, lots of those, and then through to a big ensuite. Big rainfall, shower stall, the loo, and terrific. Have a look at that window section in the hull. That's fantastic, with a beautiful view. I think it's a Sunseeker, I'm not sure. Not sure what that is, but anyway, beautiful view. From here, we can walk back and connect to another guest cabin. This one ever so slightly smaller. Again, big queen size bed, nice bedside tables. Again, same lovely headroom and ensuite. That's very nice, isn't it? I've just noticed the that's like a goldy brass finish on those accessories. That's pretty cool. Very nice. Slightly smaller than the first cabin, slightly less storage. As you can see, although that's quite deep, that's pretty good. So I think I'm right in guessing that is probably the owner's cabin. I might be corrected as we go through the tour, but that does feel like the largest of the cabins that we've seen so far. But we'll cross over the other side of the hull, onto the other hull rather, and down here we'll find this cabin. So this is guest cabin number 3. Again, lovely double berth. The same nice view out. Look at that shaker style cabinetry. That's nice, isn't it? That's all storage behind there. So you're really well catered for. and then a similar head to the second one that we saw just a few moments ago. Finished to get in that same goldy brass. That's nice. Very smart. This is a like a Korean material, composite material. Quite stylish. So guest cabin number 3, and then the last of the guest cabins is this, and this feels similar in size to the first cabin that we showed you. So perhaps, and it's the first time that I'm seeing the boat, but perhaps there are 2 sort of slightly larger cabins and 2 which are slightly smaller. Great size, and again that beautiful view out. That late afternoon sun flickering off the water makes the room feel pretty good. 3 banks of cupboards, and then yeah, that bigger oversized ensuite head like that. Big window section. Beautiful. So we'll come out of here and we'll skip up back into the salon, and we'll have a look at those 2 cabins that were all the way back at the other end of the hulls. So we'll slip down in here and we find 2 doors. So one of those doors is to ensuite head, and one of those is to the cabin itself. And behind here we've got a storage cabinet. So that's like a hanging locker. So they've kind of deconstructed a normal size cabin, but to give you all of the amenities. So here is a really nicely spec'd ensuite, again with a full-sized ensuite shower, and then behind this door is the bed. So I think if you kind of added up all those spaces together, you probably end up with a similar size cabin as the 2 smaller ones that we saw. But look, my guess is that you might want to dedicate this for a crew cabin, or if you're only carrying 1 or 2 crew, then this could be a guest cabin as well. So we'll come back out of here and we'll move across to the other hull, and we'll find a little crew area. This is clearly laundry area. This could probably be racked out into something slightly different. You could probably take your pick of how you wanted to use this space, but there's extra refrigeration here. I mean, there's already a lot of refrigeration on the boat, but there's even more here. A little sink there, and then behind this door there's another cabin. So look, my guess is that this is a crew cabin. The other could potentially be crew cabin or extra accommodation for guests. This feels more like a crew cabin to me. Behind there will be more storage. Yep, like that. So there you go. So it's probably the case where those 2 are crew cabins, and the crew in this hull would be sharing the head across in the other hull, like that. But plenty of options, plenty of options. All right, I reckon we'll move all the way forward into this really nice seating area outside, and we'll wrap this one up. So there you go. That's the McCONAGHY 82P power catamaran. I hope you enjoyed that one. Something really different I encourage you, if you're not familiar with who McCONAGHY are, find their website, have a look at the incredible things they do in racing, sailing yachts, as well as what they supply the automotive racing industry. They're quite a remarkable company, and they make one hell of a power catamaran. Thank you to VICSAIL. If you or someone you know would be interested in having this, they are the people to talk to, and they're great to work with, super accommodating. I really appreciate them getting me on board today so I can show you this boat. But let's leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week on another walkthrough. Bye for now.